age. There's a lot said about the chi, human spirit, and that the stronger the chi is, then the better the martial artist will be. You take that to a level where abroad in places like China and so forth, people live to a great age, and they say that's through their chi and the spiritual powers that they gain from their training.
Some people introduce Buddhism into it, especially the more traditional martial artists. Visualisation and meditation are very useful training tools for any sport, not just the martial arts, and that comes into it a lot as well.
Meditation is very important to my training schedule, and even if I'm not training, just to my life, it's very important for a lot of different reasons. For competitions, for martial arts reasons, visualization is super, even for audition purposes. Visualization is used by really the top athletes, not just in martial arts, but in a lot of sports. Visualization is seeing in your mind's eye the event before it actually takes place, seeing how you want to perform, seeing what you want to achieve, seeing the sights, smelling the smells that are there, and really being in there in your mind's eye.
Hitman Squad are 9 of the top martial artists in the country. We specialise in different aspects of martial arts. We have from demonstrations, self-defence, point fighting, continuous.
The Hitman Squad are arguably the best martial arts team in Ireland.
In my view, there's nobody in Northern Ireland or England can actually touch them, or even in the south of Ireland. They're unbelievable.
They're a group of black belts from various different martial arts systems. And we set up the team about 3 years ago, and since then we've won a lot of Irish, British, European and even world titles. We always support each other heavily at competitions. We train hard with each other, but most importantly we're all friends.
Get together. Left leg forward, fighting stance. Reverse punch with the right hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, front kick with the right leg. Your hands inside, turn the front foot, bring up your knee, kick the ball of the foot, and lean back so your body weight's in the kick, place the foot back. So front kick and back.
He's one of the only instructors that I know that does forms, points fighting, continuous, music forms and weapons, and he's like top notch on all of them. Where a lot of instructors, they'll tell you all about the technique, but they don't do it. They just know what's been passed on to them.
He demands a degree of training and a degree of ability that he would expect from himself. Of course, we can't really match that demand, but we can only try, and he's there to push us along all the time.
He has the capabilities and the potential, and he can show exactly where you need to improve on something, or if you need coaching, he's there for you, and he can point out the reasons why. Where a lot of people they'll be shown a technique, and when they ask the instructor what it is, he goes, oh, that's because the way it is. So Robert will say, you do this because it's the shortest point and it's a quicker way to hit someone or to do a movement. And so that's why I think he's a very integral part of the Irish martial arts scene.
He'd have moves and techniques that people haven't seen before, never even thought of, and some people don't like them, some people do. Basically they're just new and they're different. It's a change for the people that were in martial arts before Robert.
I think he's very highly acclaimed among his peers, but at the same time you do hear the words. There is a slight bit of down pushing on him. I think people are very jealous of what he has achieved so young, which is a pity.
There'll be a lot of people who don't want him where he is. A lot of people where Robert is now, and they didn't want that taken away from him when Robert did come back onto the scene. And so I believe there's a lot of jealousy involved from those people. The media and the public do not recognise martial arts as a true professional sport. They believe it to be an amateur one. They don't believe in the competitions to be strong and to be worthy for TV or television view. I suppose the public not interested in that much would encourage the media to span it on TV.
I think if martial arts were to get that level of coverage, people will become interested in the characters, the personalities, and it would become more popular. And contrary to what people might think, It's not a very violent sport. As a matter of fact, like that, there are sports where you would be much more likely to have heavy contact and injuries than you would in martial arts. It really is a fitness sport more than anything else, and it does keep a person very fit without huge expenditure.
Maybe another reason why martial arts hasn't been a big thing, you know, in the wider community in Ireland is because we don't have any recognisable figure who, you know, cycling was a big thing when Sean Kelly was famous, and, you know, snooker got a boost when Ken Doherty won the World Championship. So I think there's a question of personality bringing something along.
You don't see martial arts on the backs of Weetabix or cornflakes boxes. So that's why there's so much ground for a martial artist to have to break just to become well known within a country, compared to in America, where there's a lot more coverage and people want to do more things.
If you have a commitment to something, whether it's to sport, whether it's to health, whether it's to politics, if you have a commitment to something and you're really determined to see that profession, sport or whatever be a success, you will come across as pushy, you will come across as having a strong personality.
When I'm fighting, I see myself as more than the fighter when I'm actually competing. And I see myself as like an entertainer as well. And people pay their money to come and see me fight, or to come see other people fight, or come see the competition. And it's important to entertain them. And that's very much, I see myself as an entertainer as well as a fighter, as well as an instructor, as well as many other things. And therefore, you know, when I'm fighting, I like to make it as entertaining as possible. I like to throw the complicated techniques. I like to do high jump spinning kicks. I like to do hard maneuvers.
He would be flamboyant, and that's unknown in Ireland, especially at this time. And he's so flamboyant in such a quick time.
He's very ambitious, but I wouldn't know what to compare him with.
I don't really have role models or heroes. It's a hard enough job trying to be myself most of the time. There are a lot of people I admire. I don't try to be them, but there are a lot of people I admire, like the likes of Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan or Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ah!